Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Please subscribe to this channel, share, like, as well as drop a comment on the comment section. So today we're going to be talking about types of pressure group, types of pressure groups. So the first type of pressure group that we're looking at is communal pressure group. Now, contemporary societies are heterogeneous in nature. So consequently, this heterogeneity will definitely affect the relationship of different groups within the society. In the third world countries, especially Africa, there exist different ethnic groups who are competing for meager resources. Therefore, for these ethnic groups, to be properly catered for, there is need for them, to regroup into organized groups that will protect the interest of the people from that ethnic groups. You know, now this pressure group is the type that is ethnic based. They are out to promote the cause for an improved condition of their people's welfare and make sure that they are not marginalized and skimmed out of political equations in a country. In Nigeria, we have three major ethnic groups, and each of these ethnic groups has a pressure group. For example, we have the Hausa Fulani, who has the Ariwa Consultative Forum, the ACF. We have the Igbos, who have the Ohanese Ndigbo, and the Yorubas, who have the Ududua People's Congress, that is OPC. Now, all these pressure groups are made up of elders who are knowledgeable and experienced and who know the socio-political landscape of the country, such that they are always there to make sure that their ethnic groups are not sidelined. Okay, number two is anomic pressure group. Now, this is a type of pressure group that does not have a formal organizational structure. They just emerge spontaneously to act, to react to a prevailing situation, and thereafter they disappear because they have a loose coordination and their activities last for a while. It consists of organization whose behavior and actions cannot be predicted. They act according to the spur of the moment, and they are not guided by any rules of behavior of any type. They are easily organized in violent situations such as demonstrations, protests, mob rioting, strikes, and revolutions. Now, these groups, develop when they feel that the decision-making authorities have alienated them, and therefore feel that the only way they can make their impact felt is through mob action or violence. You know, their actions are usually amorphous, spontaneous, and chaotic. In Nigeria, we have had anomic pressure groups, and their activities always leave a scare and sorry tale on the nation because they are most times destructive in nature. Examples of such groups are protesters, rioters, etc. Now, the number three is institutional pressure group. Now, institutional pressure groups exist within the government establishment, especially in the democratic bureaucratic sector. Now, this group is the type that is set up, okay, is the type that is set up for the purposes other than politics and political activities, and would constantly exist if they do not deal with politics. Now, institutional pressure groups exist within the institutions of government. Example of these is the bureaucracy and military. Now, number three is associational pressure groups. Now, associational pressure groups, you know, exist in every democracy where there are groups which legally come together, to influence the decisions of the government. One of the features of these groups, is that they are organized professional associations who always protect the interest of their members. they have constitutions, registered offices, they have formal procedures of registering their members, and they are the leading pressure groups. Examples are Nigeria Medical Association (NMA), Nigeria Bar Association (NBA), Nigeria Union of Teachers (NUT), Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ), etc. So those are associational pressure groups. Then we have the non-associational pressure group. The non-associational pressure group is the type of pressure group that does not have a formal association, but the people in this group know themselves as a group. They know themselves as a group. Now, this type of group does not have permanent existence. It appears when there is need, okay, when there is need for it, and as soon as the need is met, they fold up immediately. There is no formality and procedure in their organization. Now, this group most times provides social and economic functions for their members. Non-associational pressure groups have highly educated members in its fold, and they also work for the entire community they represent. Now, this type of pressure group assumes the position of representing the people even when they are not actually called to do that. Okay, so those are the things. Okay, now we also have the next one is the professional associational group. Now, professional pressure group. Now, the professional pressure group is the type of pressure group that actually type of pressure group that its members belong to specific profession. I've talked about the Nigerian Bar Association, I've talked about the Nigerian Medical Association and stuff like that. So these are the various types of pressure groups that we actually have in several countries of the world today. Okay, so basically what is important is that we must understand that pressure groups, okay, are types of groups that actually put pressure on the government. Now, at every point in time, what they are interested in is to ensure that their interest is protected, that they lobby government in order to influence the policies and programs of government in their favor. At every point in time, what they are actually fighting for is to influence, is to put pressure on government to ensure that the policies and programs that government does or carry out or formulated is actually in favor of their members. Okay, so those are just the major things. And I've talked about the types of pressure groups. I've talked about the anomic pressure group. I've talked about the associational pressure group. I've talked about the non-associational pressure group. I've talked about the institutional group. I've also talked about the professional pressure group. Now, these are the types of pressure groups that we have in most countries of the world. Thank you very much.